Hi, I'm Tim. This is the fourth in the series of lessons that will help you learn how to play pop piano. In this lesson, you'll learn three new types of chords: major sevenths, minor sevenths, and dominant sevenths. These seventh chords give you a richer selection of harmonies to choose from when playing chord progressions. You'll also expand your left hand technique to include root fifth octave patterns. In this section, you'll learn the major seventh chord. It can be made from any major triad, like the C major triad, with an added note called a major seventh. It has a very distinctive sound, like this. To build a major seventh chord, you need to find the major seventh note. Play a C major chord in root position: C, E, and G. The major seventh note is 2 whole steps up from the fifth, in this case, B. Add it to the C major triad. This is a C major seventh chord. To play a major seventh chord in root position, use your first finger for the root, your second finger for the major third, your third finger for the fifth, and your fifth finger for the major seventh. Now play an F major 7 chord. Start with an F major triad. Then move up 2 whole steps from the fifth to the major 7, E. Play the full chord with your first, second, third, and fifth fingers. Play back and forth between a C major 7 and an F major 7. You can add the roots in your left hand if you'd like. Play each chord for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. C major 7, F major 7, C major 7, F major 7. On lead sheets, you'll usually see major seventh chords written with the chord letter first, then M-A-J as an abbreviation for major, followed by the number 7. Major seventh chords are common in popular music influenced by jazz and gospel styles. Try developing some of your own chord progressions using major seventh chords to get a better feel for their sound. You can also make seventh chords from minor triads. When you add a seventh to a minor chord, you usually add the note that's 3 half steps above the fifth. This note is called a minor seventh. Minor seventh chords sound like this. Play an A minor triad. Find the minor seventh by moving up 3 half steps from the fifth, which is a G, to make an A minor 7. Now a G minor 7. Start with the G minor triad, move up 3 half steps from the fifth, and add the minor 7, an F. This is a G minor 7. Now an F minor 7. Start with the F minor triad, add the minor 7 and E flat on top to make an F minor 7. Let's play a progression from A minor 7 to G minor 7, to F minor 7, then back to G minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor 7, G minor 7, F minor 7, G minor 7, again. On lead sheets, you'll usually see minor seventh chords written as the chord letter then a dash, the letter M, or MIN as an abbreviation for minor, followed by the number 7. If you play a major triad and add a minor 7th note 3/2 steps above the 5th, it sounds like this. This is called a dominant 7th chord. Most musicians shorten the name of dominant 7th chords. For example, a C dominant 7 would simply be called a C7. To play a C7 chord, start with a C major triad, then move up 3/2 steps from the 5th to the minor 7th, B flat, to make a C7. To hear the difference in sound between a major 7th chord and a dominant 7th chord, play back and forth between a C major 7 and a C7. Just move your 5th finger from a B natural to a B flat, while keeping your other fingers on the C major triad. C major 7, C7. C major 7, C7. Now build an F7 chord, starting with the F major triad. Find the note 3/2 steps above the 5th, an E flat, to make an F7 chord. Let's do one more, a G7. Start with the G major triad. Find the minor 7th up 3/2 steps from the 5th, and play the G7 chord. Let's play those 3 chords in a progression that goes C7, F7, C7, G7. Play it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, C7, F7, C7, G7. Again. On lead sheets, you'll usually see dominant 7th chords written as the chord name with a 7 after it. Dominant 7th chords are common in music that's influenced by blues and jazz, and they're also used to provide tension in other styles of popular music. To summarize, a major 7th chord is a major triad with an added major 7th note 2 whole steps above the 5th. A minor 7th chord is a minor triad with an added minor 7 3/2 steps above the 5th. And a dominant 7th chord is a major triad with an added minor 7 3/2 steps above the 5th. If you keep these ideas in mind, with practice, making 7th chords will become easy. Just like with inversions of 3-note chords, you can rearrange the 4 notes of a 7th chord. Using inversions of 7th chords makes it easier to reach all 4 notes of the chord. Here's a C minor 7 chord in root position. First inversion and second inversion. And when the 7th is on the bottom of the chord, it's called third inversion. An easy way to remember where the 7th note is in a 7th chord inversion is to play the standard 3-note triad inversion and find the 7th below the root. For example, for the C minor 7 inversions, start with a C minor chord in first inversion. Find the root, C, and add the minor 7th a whole step below the C on a B flat. Now move up to a C minor in second inversion. Find the root, add the minor 7th a whole step below, and for third inversion, play a root position C minor chord with the 7th at the bottom a whole step below the root. Now try the inversions of a C7. Dominant 7th chords are built using a major triad with an added minor 7th, a whole step below the root. Start with a C major triad in first inversion. Find the root and add the 7th a whole step below on B flat. Then move up to the second inversion. Find the root, C, and add the 7th a whole step below. For third inversion, play a root position C major chord with the 7th added at the bottom a whole step below the root. For major 7th chords, the root and the major 7th are only a half step apart, so some of the inversions can sound pretty dissonant. Start with a C major chord in first inversion. Find the root, C, and add the 7th a half step below. Move up to the second inversion. Find the root and add the 7th a half step below. For third inversion, play a root position C major chord and add the 7th a half step below the root. Many piano players simplify 7th chords by leaving out the 5th of the chord. Here's a C minor 7 chord in second inversion, including the 5th, and the same chord without it. The chord sounds similar, but requires fewer fingers. Once you feel comfortable with all the inversions of the 7th chords, you can try leaving the 5th out of the chord and see if you like the sound. The song in the play chapter of this lesson uses 7th chords in different inversions. You can also try more 7th chord inversions with the exercises in the practice chapter. So far, we've learned how to play left-hand parts that use roots or roots and fifths. Adding an octave in your left hand, like this, is a technique commonly used by piano players to expand their left-hand rhythmic playing. The most common fingering for root, fifth, octave patterns is with your 5th finger on the root, your 2nd finger on the 5th, and your 1st finger on the octave. Let's try playing a root 5th octave pattern that goes like this. The root is on the 1st beat, the 5th is on the 2nd beat, and the octave is a half note starting on the 3rd beat, and then the pattern repeats. Play it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now try the same pattern going from high to low, like this. Try that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's another pattern using the same notes but with a syncopated feel. Listen to the rhythm. Play that with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now play the same thing from high to low. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's one more variation of a root 5th octave pattern. This pattern starts on the root for 2 beats, then jumps up to the octave for an 8th note, down to the 5th for an 8th note, then back to the root for a beat, then it repeats. Listen to the rhythm while I count. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Play that with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. These root fifth octave rhythm patterns are used in the left-hand part for the song in this lesson. The song in this lesson has a verse and a chorus. The right-hand part is played with seventh chords, and the left-hand part uses root fifth and root fifth octave patterns. I'll play the verse part for you, then show you how to play it. Let's start with the right hand. There are 3 chords in the verse. First, a D minor 7 in root position, to an E minor 7 also in root position, and an A minor 7 in second inversion. The first time through the progression, hold the D minor 7 for 2 beats, the E minor 7 for 2 beats, and the A minor 7 for 3 beats, then play it a second time for 1 beat. Here's the rhythm. Play that first part with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. The rhythm for the second half of the verse stays the same, except the A minor 7 is held for the entire measure, like this. Now put both of those parts together. 1, 2, 3, 4. The left-hand part adds some more rhythm to the song. I'll play it for you first. Start with the root fifth of the D minor 7 chord for the first 2 beats, then root fifth of the E minor 7 for the next 2 beats, then an octave fifth root of the A minor 7 using the rhythm pattern you learned earlier, like this. Play that with me a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now put the right and left hand parts together. You can use the cycle button to repeat this part while you play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The chorus for the song goes like this. Starting with the right hand, the first chord is an F minor 7 in third inversion, to a G minor 7 in second inversion, to a C dominant 7 or C7 in first inversion. For the rhythm, the F minor 7 starts on the first beat, the G minor 7 on the third beat, Then the C7 comes in a little before the first beat of the next measure. I'll play that part so you can hear how it goes. Then add one more C7 on the fourth beat before playing the pattern again. Here's just the right hand. Listen to the rhythm. Play it with me a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4. The left-hand part for the chorus goes like this. Start with quarter notes on the root and fifth of the F minor 7, to the root of the G minor 7, down to the root of the C7. Then on the third beat of the second measure, play eighth notes on an octave C, down to a fifth, down to a root. Listen to the rhythm while I play. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Play the left hand with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now put the chords and the left hand together for the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. When you try the song in the play chapter of this lesson, you may want to start by practicing just the right hand part and then just the left hand. Once you feel comfortable with both, put them together. Also, use the speed slider to slow down the music until you can accurately play all the notes. When you've mastered the whole song, try playing the right hand parts with different inversions. Have fun.